Hi, welcome to my first Merry Monday video. What we're going to do is I'm going to try to do videos that are Christmas theme, and I'm going to at least try to do them twice a month on Mondays, and we're going to work on our Christmas all year long. So today we're going to make a journal similar to this. We're going to make the cover, and we're going to use an Amazon package like I used here, and we're going to use this Santa. So you could have Amazon packages sitting around that you could pause this and go and grab one now. Or say you have cards, Christmas cards that you got for Christmas. You can make a journal out of that. But go grab something and work along with me. But if you're like me, you have some Amazon packages sitting around. So we're going to start with this, and we're going to make the cover out of this guy. So let's work along. And I have this tape that I'm going to use, the brown tape, to cover the marks on here. So we'll get started. And I'm just going to start by covering up these black Amazon packaging marks. I'm going to cover them, and it's probably going to take more tape than we like, or some don't have much writing on them. And I've already pulled off the label. And let's see, let me set this stuff aside. And this has a flap, and I think I'm just going to cut the flap off and use the top as a pocket, the journal top. So I'm just going to cut along here. And let's turn an Amazon package into a Christmas junk journal. And I initially got this idea from Thrifty Day, and I will put her link below because she explains it very well. And let's just keep covering this up. The inside will probably have, I'll probably use some scrapbook paper or even Tim Holtz paper. I think the backdrop paper. We'll see as we go along. So you don't have to cover it up perfectly, but we're gonna give it a whirl. Just depending on how thin your paper is, if you want it to show through. And this also is going to reinforce your spine by putting this tape here too. And I believe I got this tape maybe at Walmart. I don't remember exactly. So I'm just haphazardly covering up the marks on the packaging. And say you have a hole, like where I lifted my label, there's like a hole there. So just covering it up and fixing those places. Let's go back. This I think I'll use for the front. And also you could, if you have scrapbook paper, you could just glue that down and cover this up too. You could pick a thicker scrapbook paper. But this is just going to be like a messy little junk journal. I'm not even going to worry about trimming that for now. We'll wait and see as we go on how this transpires. So what I wanted to do is put down some music paper and wanted to decoupage this guy over the music paper. And so what I'm gonna have to do is take the layers of the napkins off, and we'll start with decoupaging it. Or do I want to decoupage it on here first? I think I'm going to decoupage Santa on this first. And I want the top so you could see that it says Santa Claus So Jolly. So let's see here. I'm going to cut this apart. And napkins sometimes are full of layers. And you might have a Christmas napkin sitting around that you didn't use or that you might have saved. And you can grab a napkin and do the same thing as me. And I like to get some washi tape to work on the layers. I think what I'm gonna do first is just do some messy fussy cutting around here. Clean it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Lay it down and see. Also, I'm going to get a feel for how much that Santa is going to take up of the cover. And he pretty much is going to cover it up pretty well. So let's see how many layers he has. And I'm just grabbing some washi. And I could even trim them up a little bit there. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so I put the washi on here. And you just pull the first layer. I don't even think I needed that washi. Actually, 2 layers came with that. I don't know if you could see. So might not even have needed that. And so this seems to be the final layer. And what we're going to do is, you have choices. You could either use a glue stick to put him down, and I'm debating, or do I want to use Mod Podge? I think I might use the Mod Podge because I feel like I could see him, like it will be more translucent, and I want to be able to see the music notes through here. So let's see. And I want to put something down. Okay, I have put this over something. I have my Mod Podge here, and I have a brush, and we're just going to apply the Santa Claus to here. And I don't do it too thick because I don't want it to bubble up. I'm gonna guess what the Santa covers. And this, by the way, was from Graphics Fairy. I went onto their site and printed this music note, and I liked this music page, and I like that it said Santa So Jolly. And I want that to be like the center and show him up there, and then I'm just going to work that out. Trying to stay on camera here. And smooth him onto there. And I might not have gotten the bottom so great, so easy fix, just go underneath. And then sometimes just by applying it on the top too, at the same time, that works. So this is bubbling up a little bit here. I'm gonna go in with some Mod Podge there. And I don't mind if it gets little wrinkles or bubbles because I just think that adds character. I see there might need to be some more there, and I'm just gonna lift it a little bit and apply more. So see how our music notes and words are coming through? I love that look. And if you don't like that look, a glue stick could work better for you. And if you don't like working with Mod Podge. Okay, I'm going to pause this and let him dry a little bit. While that's drying, I want to show you something that I found in my stash that I didn't even know I had. Let me get to it. I love it. It's a photo, it's a vintage photo of two children celebrating New Year's Eve. And I have turned this and several different Christmas photos into printables. But I just love because they say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And it's just a bunch of fun Christmas cards that have photos on them, or different Christmas photos that I discovered in my stash. This is amazing. I don't know if you could see. He's holding a Christmas tree, and it's a postcard dated 1922. How neat is that? And it's just, so I have turned these into printables, and I thought, how fun are they to put in our Christmas journals? And I'm also including this New Year's one, but some say season's greetings. Look at this with the kids lined up at the doorway. This little girl, I love her eyes and her excitement as she's opening Christmas presents. This is fun. Is it a tandem? I don't know. It could have 3 seats on it. But anyhow, this one's a fun Christmas card. And so I'm putting these in printables on my Ko-Fi site. And I'll include the link below. And what I'm going to do while we're waiting for that to dry, I'll finish showing you some of these. They're just fun Christmas photos and cards that I have saved. I don't remember if that one's in there. I think that one is. Anyhow, so it's going to be a big group of all kinds of Christmas cards that say Merry Christmas, some say Happy New Year. And I'm going to explain, so like some of us haven't sent out Christmas cards or run out of Christmas cards or got a card from someone late. So what I'm going to do is, while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to turn this into a New Year's card. And so what I've done is I have a piece of cardstock that I'm going to cut in half. So this is 8.5 that way. So I'm going to move it around, and we're going to cut it in half. So we're going to do 4 1/4. And I'm going I'm not on camera. 4 1/4. Oh wait, that's not right. Hold on, no. Alrighty, this way is 11 inches, so we're gonna go 5 1/2 this way. Oh my goodness, silly. And then I'm going to fold this in half and turn it into a card. Take it and score it with my scissors. And what I did is I printed my printable, but I scaled it to 75%. And we're going to see how that New Year's photo fits on here. Let me grab it. Lots of moving pieces around here. And so I've trimmed it with some fun scissors around the edges. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down, and inside I'm going to put Happy New Year and a private message and send it off to people that I haven't sent cards to, that I know I would like to wish them a Happy New Year. And it's not too late. Or hand someone the card, you know, that if you work with someone and you feel bad that you didn't get them a card, or you just want to wish them a Happy New Year, you can make your own card by cutting a paper in half and then folding it in half again. So look how neat this is going to be. And I'm going to put Happy New Year inside and send my own little private message. And you could do layers and frame it, but this was scaled down for my printable to 75%, and it fit that size just right. And I thought it would be a great way too to end one of your Christmas journals with one of these photos at the end. I don't know, I just have never seen a photo like this. I was super excited to find it in my stash. And now you could get it as a printable for yourself if you like. So let's see if my Santa's dry. What I'm going to do is just rip that paper around the edges. We'll see. And even if it's not completely dry, sometimes tearing it is easier when it's a little damp. So I'm just going to go around the edges. And still, oh, it went a little into him, but that's okay. Cut the top. And this could be as messy or as neat as you would like it to be. Okay, so I went ahead and tore around the edges and trimmed this top with scissors so that looked a little cleaner. And I'm going to glue this down. You could either glue it or decoupage it down. I might use glue this time. And I'm going to try to get as close to this edge as I can, because over here I'm going to want to use fabric along the spine. So I'm going to go ahead and glue him down. Or like I said, you could decoupage, depending, you know, how you want it to look. And if you decoupage, you could get closer to the edges and you could have cleaner edges, but I'm gluing this time. So whatever you're feeling, you go with it. And like I said, I'm gonna go close to this edge. Could even wrap them around the edge. And glue him down, and I'm not sure what kind of, and you know what? I almost like maybe the idea of gluing him down and then taking some Mod Podge over the top to seal it. But I will do that part after I figure out what fabric we should use here on the edge. So should we use a fabric like we did on the original? I think that could be pretty. Or I have this fabric that I used on the edge of this one. And that's also cute. Just looking at it, getting an idea. But I feel like this makes it pop. So I'm gonna grab this fabric and we're going to glue that fabric on our spine. Okay, so I went to my stash to look at my Christmas fabric, and something about this polka dot spoke to me, and I don't know if it has to do with these berries or his cheeks. I think I'm going to go with polka dot as our spine fabric cover. So I don't even know how this tears, and I'm going to wing it. I think this used to be a napkin. So the sides are stitched and we're just going for it. It's my new motto for the upcoming year. Don't overthink and just go for it. We're gonna see if it tears. It's a messy tear, which is sometimes better. So where I have the trim on the edges, I'm just going to see if I could tear that. Get it started and see how it tears. And it is tearing. Okay, bonus. And then I'm going to look and see how wide I would like this fabric. Okay, trying to stay in the camera. I'm just trimming the edge here. Maybe I just don't have strength today. Has that ever happened to you? You like how I measured? There was no measuring. Okay, we're gonna see what we got. And I like the messiness of it too. And it curled where I tore it there on that other side. And I sort of want the messiness to show. I'm gonna trim it up. Trim it some more. Why measure? Cute, cute. Okay, as I'm doing this, I realized I want to put paper on the back, cardstock, And I went and grabbed my Tim Holtz backdrops. Might have called it something earlier. Called it something different earlier. But anyhow, I went and grabbed that package. Have not looked through. And I thought we could look together and I could decide what paper I would like to put on the back. I'm not sure about that. Do not like that one. I would like this, but for something else. That's not bad, but not my favorite. This I like, because it sort of goes with him on the front. So I'm gonna leave that sit there. Or maybe you want to grab a paper that's one-sided so you're not wasting the other side. But that's a fave so far. When I look through, and some of these I could use inside the journal, and I'll have it here. I do like that, but it's not as bright as the front is. But who's going to see the back and the front at the same time? No one. That's sort of fun. That's very vintage and cool looking. Let's see what our options are. That's not a bad option. Sometimes I tend to be matchy-matchy. That's pretty. And some of these can go in the inside cover too. So ones that I like, not sure, I could set aside and we could use on the inside. That's pretty. Okay, making a stack of ones that I like. I love that one. I think that was in his last year kit too. It's just super pretty. Put that over there. And I didn't mention, which I need to, I am going to give this journal away. I am very close to 1,200 subscribers. And once I reach that, I will do a giveaway of the journal that we're making here together. So that's a bonus. Sort of like these two, or maybe would use those on the inside. I love the markings on it and how neat that is. Okay, so I got it down to 3 of them. Now down to 2. I think I'm gonna go with this one. So the reason I wanted to pick this out first is probably because that material is going to go over the paper on the back. So I wanted to get that on there first. And maybe we'll do a measurement this time. And I'll trim this to go on the back. Let me set some stuff aside. And let's measure how big this journal is. How tall and how wide the back is. See, and that will clean up this tape that keeps lifting too if I put that on the back. So it's about, I got a sticker there. It's about 6 1/4 tall. So I'm gonna trim this up. Might even tear it, like the messy look. Tear it a little bit and get it to fit on the back. And what I realized is I should have inked the edges of this, and I might apply some ink to the edges of that. Trim it up. So I ink the edges. Usually I have vintage photo, but I guess I gathered twigs. So I did some inking on the edges, and now I'm going to glue this down, and then we're going to glue our material on the spine. And I love Tombow mono glue is one of my faves. Years ago I did some Stampin' Up, and I would make cards, and this just was the best glue for me. Everything stuck very well, and I've never had problems with it. And a little bit goes a long way, and so that means a lot to me too. Do that, line it up. And sometimes I don't even mind like curling up a corner and just making it look messy, because this is like a messy journal. And going forward, we'll do all types of journals. We'll do little golden books. I'll work on those on Merry Mondays, and I'll show you other books too that we could work with. So it won't just be packaging, it will just be all different ideas and things that you can go with. So I have grabbed some Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to glue this down with Fabri-Tac. And what I like to do is I like to put it on with a brush so it goes on evenly. And so I'll pour it like sometimes in a little cup or something, just so I could put it on with a brush and I could smooth it out and just do a little bit at a time. I probably poured way too much than I needed to, but we'll make this work. So I like the messy look, and I'm going to take this to the edge right there, and I'm going to put down my glue. And try to smooth it out. The reason I like to use the brush, because sometimes this Fabri-Tac, and maybe my Fabri-Tac is older, it doesn't seem to go on smooth. And sometimes it looks bumpy to me or something. And you know what? Mine could just be older. That could be the problem. And I wouldn't be surprised. And I know I was going, my material was going to go over towards the Santa. And I see where I need to come over a little bit on this edge. So we're going to do that. Do you see my bracelet? See, I have ADD for sure. I just saw my bracelet and wanted to show you. It says create. I found it at a local artist store, and I thought, how neat is that? So it had a whole bunch of different artists that sold their items in there, and I'm like, I have to get that. Perfect. Create. Okay, smoothing it out. There we go. That's what our cover's gonna look like. And what I think I'm gonna do now is go ahead and go over the top. Well, maybe not. I'm gonna wait to go over the top with the Mod Podge because I wanna do the inside. So I'm gonna cover the inside with some paper, and we're going to do the same material down the inside. What do we think so far? It's coming together. Merry Mondays are gonna be fun. And that will keep me going this year. Getting my Christmas stuff done. Okay. let me see what kind of paper I'm going to put on the inside. I think I should go ahead and look at my favorites that I had set aside earlier. These are two good ones. These, I think I've used these in another one. I'm gonna go, well, let's see what the polka dot paper looks like the polka dot material looks like up against it. Let's see. Look at some other options. I do like this. Let me see if there's another one that's similar to that. Or, that's not too bad either. Try not to overthink. Someone's got to stop me if I do. We're opening the inside cover. That's sort of pretty. Look at the fabric again. I do like this. Let's look again to see if I have something similar to that, which it doesn't have to be. Or I could go completely opposite and do some greens. That's not bad with that. I don't like the darks for some reason. Don't like that with that. Something about this I like because it pops. So do we go with the green on the back too? Let's be different. Let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna trim these down. Just messy type of trim. I'm just gonna tear at each end with my roller. And see what we have. Because, you know, sometimes I don't measure. Living on the edge. My way of living on the edge. Okay, I've trimmed my papers. Now we're going to glue them in, the front and the back cover. Gosh, I love this side of this too. I love his papers. Doesn't matter what that side looks like, but I think I like that upper edge over there. Okay, we have our paper in, and now it's time to glue down our material, which I have a lot of strings hanging off of. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. And now they're sticking to me because I have glue on me. Put this down. And it looks like I need to trim this up a little bit too. I'm just going to use the Tombow glue on the center spine. I'm going to tell you why. I don't know if it's my Fabri-Tac that there's something wrong with it. If it's old, it just keeps getting gummy on me. So I'm just going to stick with Old Faithful, which is my Tombow glue. And that's what you need to do. Use what works best for you. And what has done well for you over the years. Gonna smooth it out. And go back and get my edges really good there. Really, there's no mistakes in junk journaling. I think that's why I like it, because it doesn't have to be perfect. Any little mistakes are character, and you're probably the only one that will know if you make a mistake, or that you might think is a mistake. Someone else might not. Okay, and so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and do that Mod Podge over the front of this napkin, just to make it blend. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to tell you, I forgot to put a free printable out on my Ko-Fi last time. There's several out there, but I forgot to do a Christmas one. So there will be, check it out, there's going to be a free printable, and it's going to be a surprise. So just going over this. And making it blend better. So between now and next week, gather your pages for your journal, fold them in half, cut them down, and make them fit. And we could work on putting pages in our Christmas journal and embellishing some. So, you know, we could be in different spots. So what I'm going to do is put pages in this journal and then embellish the other journals, finish embellishing them like I started to do a week ago, right before Christmas. All right, I'm going to let this dry, and I hope to see you next Monday, or whenever you get a chance to check out my Merry Mondays. And like I said, I'll be giving this journal away because I'm super close to meeting 1,200 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and have a great day. Thanks for coming by my channel. You are so very much appreciated.